Did you know that one character in Super Mario 64 inadvertently contributed to the game's longevity in a huge way? No, it's actually not Mario. It's this guy right here. Meet Mips the Rabbit. Named after the processing technology of the Nintendo 64, Mips appears at 2 points in the game in the castle's basement. First, when you collect 15 stars, and again at 50 stars. His intended purpose in the game is to grant Mario a Power Star when caught. However, Mips has a pretty impactful history for a seemingly secondary character. Mips was actually one of the first characters developed for Super Mario 64, along with Mario himself. His original purpose was to be a test character for the Nintendo 64, used primarily in testing the camera system in the game, and not at all intended to make it to the final release. But the developers liked Mips so much that they kept him in and gave him the secondary role he has today. However, little did Nintendo realize that in 2004, 8 years after the game's release, Mips would gain a very unintended purpose that would change everything. The Mario 64 speedrunning community of the early 2000s had already lowered the game's required number of stars to beat the game to 31, down from the intended 70, thanks to the use of BLJs, or backwards long jumps, to skip the star requirement on the 50-star door and to bypass the 70-star requirement on the endless staircase. To then push this further, a speedrunner named Dom Dunk discovered that by using Mips the Rabbit, you are able to clip through the 30-star door in the basement to access Dire Dire Docks, and the second Bowser stage, Bowser in the Fire Sea, to then gain access to the upstairs where the BLJs could then be performed as normal. This once again effectively cut the required number of stars to beat the game in half, and birthed one of the most popular speedrun categories of all time, 16-star. Speedrunning has been integral to keeping this almost 30-year-old game relevant in today's culture, and a large part of that is thanks to one almost scrapped rabbit in the castle basement. Thanks, Mips.